Good day, everyone. I'm gonna come into our sprinkler pump room. So just to test our diesel pump for a sprinkler. So it is done every week. So the first thing that I would like to do is to isolate the brigade from the DBA. So that's our DBA. I'm going to open it, and we can see here are the three toggle switch. One of them is the brigade isolation. So we need to isolate the brigade, and in the right side is the lights. So once we switch the brigade to the isolates, the blue lights will glow. And the next of that is we need to isolate the BCO as well. BCO is the signal sending to the fire alarm panel. So we need to isolate it to avoid the signal sending to the fire alarm panel. And after that, we need to open the bypass bulb. So we need to trace where's the bypass bulb. So from our suction line, see, and the vertical pipe is the discharge line, and connected to it is our bypass. So, and we need to locate where's the bulb. So that's the bulb for the bypass. We need to open it just to make sure the water is in good circulation when the engines will run. So if you can see the plunge, orange plunge there is in a horizontal position. So we need to make it to the vertical position, and that means the bulb is open. So once the engine will run, the water will circulate properly. If it's not, the pipe will heat up and the engine causing overheating as well. So we need to open it. And then after that, we need to write down all the details, all the record according to our logbook. So the first thing is the temperature of our room. We need to get it and put it in our logbook. It will serve as a reference just in case something happened. They're gonna review all the details from here. There are three parts of our logbook here. The first part of our logbook is we need to do it before the engines run. That's what I am doing right now. And then the second part of our logbook, we need to do it during the engines run. 10 minutes after the engines run, we need to write it down, the second part of our logbook. And the third part of our logbook, we need to write it down when the engines finish to run. So that's our step-by-step procedure here in our logbook. That's a very important things. And especially this one, that's the oil condition of the engine. We need to check the oil level and the quality and what's the status, if it's for change oil or not. So we need to check it. And it's located over here. See, it's in the corner of the engine. It's hard to trace where is it, but if you are familiar, it's easy for you. Then if you can see, the engine is very clear and the level is in a maximum level, so it's still good. After completing all the first part of our logbook, it means the engine is ready to run. We have three types of engine, of how to run the engine. The first type is through our manual start, through the push button switch in our control panel. The second one is by the emergency stop lever through the engine itself. The third type is through drop-in pressure. So drop-in pressure is the very common use to test the engine to run. We need to prove that during the drop-in pressure in the system, the engine will run at a certain pressure according to the settings on our pressure switch. This time, I can start the engine now. It's only 15 minutes run, And you need to observe everything what happened during the engine run and list all what you can observe and put it in your report. I'm using a battery start right now, and by next week I'm gonna use ESL or drop-in pressure. It's either one of them. And now since the engines run, so I have to monitor what's happened, what's going on in the system right now. I need to monitor the pipe if it's not heating, and see, I put a battery start A, and then I have to say if it's when I start the engine, if it's no issue at all, so I put it okay. After 10 minutes run, I have to get the second part of our logbook, so which is the first, I have to get the engine pressure. That's the oil pressure of our engine. So I have to put it in our logbook as well. It says 3.5 something, 3.5 bar. And I write it down to our logbook here. So after that, the next one is the engine oil temperature. So I need to get it also from our monitoring. I get 82 degrees Celsius from our monitoring, so I require to put it also in our logbook. And the next to it is the RPM of the engine, which is the revolution per minute of our engine. So, and it's located from here. So 2880 or 2879, something like that. So, and next to it as well is the current during the engine running. So I got 0.5 something. So we got two current that we need to observe, and we need to put it and required to put it as well. It's I got 1 ampere for each. And our next step is to get the pressure of the pump. We need to know what is the discharge pressure and the suction pressure of the pump. So that's the very important thing, to monitor the suction pressure and the discharge pressure. We need to avoid to low the pressure of our pump. If it's low, there's something happen, there's something wrong with the water flow. So that's why we need to monitor every time. Now I'm going to put it in our logbook as well. So I got 300 kPa for our suction line and 980 kPa for our discharge line. So not bad. That's good. It means our water flow are in good condition. I am now preparing for our third part of the logbook. I'm starting the recording the time, how long the engines are running right now. So I put 43 hours and 15 minutes. So once we reach the 15 minutes of the time, I'm gonna shut down the engine. So as you can see, I put the 43/15. It means the engine are running 43 hours since from the beginning. This is the time since the engines run at the first time up to now. So the next is the fuel. We need to make it sure that the fuel tank is always full. So we monitor the fuel tank as well. So once the level of our tank is below the limit, so we need to top up. We need to add more fuel. It is coming from our reserve tank. Is it in the drum? There's a pump over here. See up, you can see. We need to pump up the pump to add more fuel just in case we need it. So but right now I saw it is full, so I write down full and no, it means I did not add the fuel. So the time is done. I'm preparing now for shutting down the engine. And see the rope? I'm now pulling the rope to shut down the engine. It is connected to the stop lever of the engine. And now I'm starting completing all the details of our third part of our logbook. And we need also to get the temperature at the end when the engine are stopped. After getting the temperature reading, so I think it's time to put it back on to normal, everything. So I got 25 degrees Celsius of our temperature, and then it's saying here the pump test is closed. So let's close it so I won't forget it. But anyway, I won't forget it because it's monitored by our panel. So it's create defects to our panel. So we're gonna miss it. There's no chance to miss it. Anyway, to avoid touching it by someone or accidentally touch this by someone during the normal operation, I'm gonna put it padlock over here. So that's for our safety because it is monitored by our panel. So every time we touch it, it appears defects to our panel, and it sending signal to our monitoring system, and it makes me in trouble. We have three types of bulb here in our sprinkler room. We have a bypass bulb, we have a main stop bulb, and we have the hydrant bulb. And those are connected to our DBA. It is monitored by our DBA. The most critical is the main stop bulb because it's initiate fire. Once you accidentally touch the main stop bulb, it's sending signal to our fire brigade, and a firefighter will come, and it makes me in big trouble. And now I'm gonna put it back onto normal. The first thing is to reset the system because there's a defect signal in our system, so we need to reset it by our toggle switch. There's a test button here and reset button, so we need to reset, and now it's gone. See the orange light over here? It's gone, so it means the reset is button is working. And now see the blue lights there and the orange light over there, so we need to remove the lights by putting it back to normal. So the toggle switch on, and now disappear. The blue lights is disappear and the orange lights over there is disappear. Now everything is normal in our panel. So it is done, everything is done. Our engine test, engine pump test are done, and it's ready to go, and it's all set. And I hope that you learned something from me through this blog. And don't forget to subscribe my channel because I'm gonna upload more videos like this. And I forgot to show you this one. This is the bell isolation. We must to isolate this before we start the engine, because if it's not, it's creating sound inside the building, so we must to isolate that one. And this is our fire alarm panel. It looks like everything is normal, so it's done.